Okay, here we go with another vintage cube. Right off the bat, this first pack, there's Time Walk. Weirdly enough, when I was doing this draft, I thought Time Walk was Ancestral Recall. I was like, whoa, Ancestral! I just saw like blue power, and I thought Ancestral. So the first picks here, Finale, Woodfall, Time Walk, Misty, maybe Power Stone. If I had clocked this as Time Walk, I still would have picked it, but I would be more inclined to go Finale or Woodfall, hoping to grab the other one and do green things. I don't know. Nah, I don't know. Also, Hangerback Walker isn't so bad. So, yeah, like White Weenie, and then it doesn't have a card. Red has Sulfuric Vortex, but that usually comes around. Like there's just no strong archetype that was shouting out other than green from the Woodfall and the Finale. So here it's like, oh, what do I, there's Gristlebrand. Okay, great, but that sort of goes with Time Walk, but not really. Questing Beast, okay. Glenalendra was tempting, and then there's Ponder and Steve, and maybe the Adanto as first picks, and so I'm like, Gristlebrand's so powerful. Do I go that route? Do I grab a bunch of cheap blue things so I can like try to do Snapcaster and the other blue copying one, the one that copies the next one you'll play next turn? I'll probably seed this draft because no one drafts it. It's pretty poop. So with Time Walk, you have a few good. I mean, you can do any. Time Walk is a great card. You can do 1,000 things with it, but as far as like built-in options, there is like the Snapcaster J. So here, it's like yeah. There's there's Emrakul, Mind's Desire. As far as powerful spells, Blade Splicer, Char, maybe Acidic, maybe Search. But then like these are all different archetypes that I'm trying. Emrakul is so powerful that whether it's Show and Tell or Sneak Attack or Through the Breach or Shallow Grave. However, I'm planning on maybe cheating it out. It is one of the most cheatable things. Also, the Annihilator 6 that it has makes a world of difference between it and So pop. So here, it's like once again, there's no clear archetype that's like shouting out. Now there's like Sword of Red with Faithless Looting, Lightning Strike, and Avalanche Riders, but like sort of white as far as councils and Eidolon, but green is kind of disappeared. There's Sensei's Top. I just go blue like draw spells, thinking I'm gonna get my powerful thing pack 2 or 3, and all these draw spells will help me find whatever the powerful thing it is I'm doing. Yeah, once again, it's like this pack is now like a storm pack. It's like Bolsa Citadel, Dark Petition, like Lava Claw Reaches, Light Up the Stage, stuff like that. And I mean, there's sort of maybe I should have pivoted into white because there's O-Stone and Lyra, which are both really good. But then like Green Weenie is wrecked, Blue Value is wrecked. There's Relic, which is sort of a good hate card against Reanimate, which is you are gonna see a lot. So I go that route, but like, man, I'm not happy. Like right now, I'm. This is one of those. I don't really know what I'm playing, and so I feel like in my mind, like, well, this deck, this is a. I go Citadel. I guess my thoughts are like, maybe I go combo. I have all these small draw spells. Maybe I do try to go for Storm. Then this pack now, there's a little bit of green with Garrick. There's Splinter Twin with the Imperious Recruiter. There's Storm with a Desperate Ritual and the Manamorphose. Inquisition is a good catch-all. Also Storm with the Mirarius Conjecture. Riftwing is a good value, but now I'm like, okay, well, Eureka's a way to cheat out this Emrakul, or do I go for Imperial? I'll go for the Riftwing for value. Spoiler alert, I get that Eureka, but not many people want Eureka, so of course it comes back around. Yeah, I think like I'm doing value blue, and maybe I'm hoping to get a Sneak Attack Through the Breach, Show and Tell. Or maybe I don't play Emrakul, you know what I'm saying? Or I get Channel pack 2 or 3, and I use this Ponder, Brainstorm, etc. to try to find the Ponder early. If you don't get powerful spells, assuming you're not doing just like a value creature deck or whatever, if you don't get powerful spells, try to find spells that can find powerful spells and hope to find the powerful spells later in the draft. So here there's Goblin Welder, which does powerful things. There's Elspeth, which is a good top line if you're doing like blue-white control. Metamorph is good in my colors. There's good land, and then there's like support creatures, but I'm not playing poopy white. Freebooter's not my favorite, even though it is very powerful. I recognize the value in Freebooter while I don't ever want to draft it. But I've played many, I played Glass Cannon decks in Vintage. So yeah, I've played many decks with some Freebooters and I'm dead. Well, so why might as well address this now? Why do I opt for Glass Cannon decks in Vintage Cube? Vintage Cube is a very powerful format. It's a very fast format. I think doing something very proactive and devastatingly powerful is the easiest way to just be like, okay, yep, I win, next draft. So, if you're really going for trophies, I feel like the channels, the tinkers, the natural orders, while they may not be the most skill intensive strategies, I feel like they're the ones that really put it to your opponent to have something, and if they don't, you win. So that's what I go through. I feel like it's here there's like Courser for value, Day of Judgment for control, maybe Vindicate. Soulscar is kind of like a red. So yeah, so now I'm like, okay, I'm getting green, powerful things. I see the finale and I'm like, maybe I can get Courser with this. So with Time Walk, there's Snapcaster, the other blue one, which I still can't remember the name of, Soulfire Grandmaster, and white. But you can also go the Regrowth Eternal Witness route. And that's sort of what I'm trying to hedge for here as well, as additional ways to play it. So now this is between Questing Beast and Steve. I just go for Steve. I'll find the value later. And then like Acidic Slime is a great... The fact that Blade Splicer and Unexpectedly Absent, yeah, like no one's drafting white right now. No one's drafting white. But judging from these first packs, I have no idea how anyone in this draft found their archetype. Like, I guess everyone sort of tried to hedge. And then I grabbed the Eureka just to have some way guaranteed that I can get this Emrakul out if I plan to play it. So here, what do we have? We have Wall of Roots if I'm trying to do the green value things. There is the Show and Tell. Which is very... Let me show and tell you, it's very tempting. But then there's Library, which goes with this sort of like value blue deck I've been trying to build. It helps me find Time Walk. It hurts my heart, but I'll probably get Show and Tell back around here. This is actually now a powerful pack. There's Zealous Conscripts for the Splinter Twin combo. Factor Fiction, which I tend not to draft, but I recognize the power, just like Freebooter. Bizarre. Arboroth is a first draw green little dork. It's strong. Lotus Bloom. But it's just OKo. OKo... I've played Reanimate, and if my opponent plays Ryoko, I just lose because my Reanimate creatures were not the best, and I Reanimate, give them a chance to turn it into a 3/3, and there's just no way I can beat it. So OKo is a very powerful value card. Assuming the game doesn't just end in Cube, any significantly long game will probably be won by OKo. Here, this Frost Titan is like a castable big thing. There's also Turn Timber Symbiosis, which was a land, so it doesn't take a spell slot in my deck. I like it for that reason. 2, it can get out Emrakul. So now I have 2 reasons to play this Emrakul. Although Thirst for Knowledge also good. Some good lands here, but once again, like it's clear art, like it's all land and support. And so here, Balance, very powerful spell, but I think I'm playing too many poopily little creatures. There's Caryatid, which is strong as well, and the Jite, as well as the Solemn. A lot of value cards, but not much broken things. So I'm going to Caryatid because I need more like 2-drops, and I really want to be able to like 2 into 4 to like this Eureka. So that's why I go Caryatid over Breeding Pool. Here there's Cryptic or there's Nissa. I'm probably just as much blue as I am green, so Nissa doesn't make sense. One second, we'll go back a little bit. Gonna pick that pick. So Nissa doesn't make sense because I'm probably not main green. Cryptic's a little bit too blue to that regard. There's Dragon Lord. I just go with the Mana Dork because I need cheap things so I can ramp up to these finales, Turn Timbers, Acidic Slimes, stuff like that. And because once I draw my cards with Library, I need to be able to aggressively get out of the gate. And if I have 1-drops, even if it's a second turn 1-drop, third turn 1-drop, it's easier for me to ramp up once I've decided, okay, I've drawn enough with the Library, or I'm to the point where I can play 2 spells a turn. Here, same logic, it's Tree Speaker, and there's starting to be more cards, once again. Hey, work with me here. Work with me? Okay. VLC. VLC standing for very likely corroborating with my opponents. I nailed it. Yeah, nailed it. Now we have the biggest. I'm playing. Okay. So for Storm, you have like Shark Typhoon and Bergie. You have a lot of just like black value suddenly. White Weenie still. A little bit of red. Like, I'm not really seeing Reanimate. I'm not really seeing other archetypes that exist in Cube. Only Reanimate comes to mind because that's what I play all the time. But I don't know. It seems like so. Cube, you get all the same cards, but you don't know which order, or which iterations they're happening in. I really. It's like I'm really confused where the Tinkers, the Channels, the Eldrazi, the other Eldrazi, where they Reanimate, the stuff that I usually. So here there is there's Wormcoil, which I like. There's Hydroid Krasis, which I sort of like. But then Survival allows me to find Emrakul if I have the Eureka, or get rid of Emrakul if I have her. Also with these value creatures that have very specific times I need them, like Acidic Slime or Riftwing, it can let me find them in a pinch, so my deck can become a toolbox deck. So there is Fauna Shaman to have a second survival, but it's a slow survival, and I'd rather have Terrastodon to have some sort of, like, I'm thinking like maybe there's natural orders still out there. I need to grab this Terrastodon as a good strat. It's another thing I'm fine with Turn Timber. It's another thing I can Eureka. So I go for it. Still high on my list. Any regrowths or Eternal Witnesses or Snapcasters, anything like that. But who knows if I will find them. If I do find them, though, Survival helps me find them. You know what I'm saying? Survival of the Fittest helps me find them in the games once I've found them in the drafts. So, just chillin'. This is what... Okay, great. So, I grabbed Crucible just in case I get, like, a Strip Mine last pack. Maybe that's still open. Ashen Rider... Like, this isn't a Reanimate deck. I can't just choose anything with Eureka. I need to feasibly... I might need to Raphaelos these out. Assuming I get Raphaelos. And then Birthing Pod. I don't really have... I have an up to 5 string, but I'm not going to get like a 6, 7, up to 8 with Terrastodon. I'm definitely not going to get up to 15 with Emrakul. I think that's actually impossible. I don't think there's any. So now here it's like Overgrown Tomb. Maybe I grab a Demonic Tutor or something, pack 3. No, I grab Bazaar. Yeah, no. Yeah, Overgrown Tomb. This was Wall of Blossoms. It's great against control strategies. Rex Sage is good now that I have the Survival of the Fittest, because I can get it as part of the toolbox deck. I also have the Finale of Devastation. I have 2 toolbox ways to get a Rex Sage if they have a powerful artifact enchantment. Here, it's just Dragon Lord, just in case. I might be able to splash 1 red or whatever, or get some birds. I already have the Sylvan Caryatid, so 1 red isn't necessarily impossible. You could like Finale or Survival into the Sylvan to be able to have the red to get into the Dragon Lord Atarka. It's a little blech, but maybe. And we are almost done with pack number 2. And so now I have 3 white sources between Absence from Pilgrim, Stirring Wildwood, and the Sylvan. So here, it's like, Vorinclex, maybe. Inkwell, if I was looking to Tinker. I don't have many Tinker, like, things to sacrifice. I think it's just Force of Will. I have a decent enough blue where maybe I want the Force of Will as, a counter against all the cheap things I usually do. It's like an anti-William card. Force of William's gonna die. So here it's like, ooh, Progenitus, my fave, but no, I can't do it. Fast bond, I don't have any ways to draw a lot of lands, and while I have this Crucible, I don't have the Strip Mine yet for the fast bond Crucible combo. It's just Eternal Witness. It's Eternal Witness because I'm looking for something to get this Time Walk back. I have multiple ways to find this Eternal Witness. Eternal Witness and Finale of Devastation are an infinite combo, in that you play the Finale to get the Eternal Witness, use the Eternal Witness to get back the Finale. Once the Eternal Witness dies again, you can Finale it from the graveyard, repeat ad nauseum. So here, there's Dig Through Time, which I don't think I'm going to have enough in my graveyard to use, unless I'm survivaling, throwing a bunch of stuff away, in which case I already have survival. I can find what I want. Dryad is interesting. If I had a way, like Courser of Kruphix or Oracle to look at the top of my deck, although if I have Oracle, I can already play an additional land from the top. Beast Within and Plow Under are both great, but I get dazed because I'm thinking maybe I need more things to do in the early game to set myself up. Also, I really don't have that many win conditions when all is said and done. It's like Trastodon, Emrakul, and I'm Eurekaing them out, which leaves me vulnerable to my powerful thing, to the powerful things my opponent can do. In my mind, this deck is poop. In my mind, I'm like, I'm drafting this deck, but I'm drafting this deck to probably die. Here, and then I grab Gargadon. Gargadon is an amazing mid-range thing. It's a definite win condition. It's something I can actually Finale for 7. That's feasible. Finaleing for 10 for the trap. You need Rafellos to be able to hit like Finale for 10 numbers. Here is interesting because like, there's Nature's Claim, Mindslaver, maybe Renin 6 if I really want to go this red route, but I don't have a land to benefit off of it. Thalia is amazing, and so is Elspeth. So someone's still drafting a good white deck, and then like also Storm. I think that was both Yawgmoth and Tendrils. Yawgmoth, we'll just say. Okay, so here there's the Ramanam Excavator, but I don't have the thing to use with it, and I'm not going to get it this late. So I think I should just pick Impulse. I don't know if I do, though. What do I do? Yeah. Grab the Impulse. There are very specific things I want to find, like the Eureka Emrakul combo, Force of Will if I need it, OKo in general. So here, it's just Cultivate, Prime Speaker, once again, same problem with Birthing Pod. And then the fetch land, it's like, yeah, I have the Crucible of Worlds, but I'm not going to play it with one fetch land. But for me, well, first of all, there's Iona, and it's like, oh, if you Eureka Iona, they die. But that's so hard to depend on. There's Soulfire, and I have the Time Walk, and then there's Primal Command, which to me is a little bit too expensive for the impact it has on the board. It doesn't have, like, if you really want to get rid of something, you have to use its 2 modes of put something on top of their library and shuffle their library. And then it's like, I don't know. It's not my favorite. Although against red, gaining the 7 and just throwing one of their lands back and getting rid of a card. Against red, ooh, Primal Command is amazing. Finding the creature is okay, but you're wasting this turn finding the creature, then next turn playing the creature. It's just so slow. I forget what I grab here. Do I grab Soulfire? So I do have white. I have Avacyn's Pilgrim, and I have Sylvan, and I have the Stirring Wildwoods. It's like I could play Soulfire Grandmaster. I don't. Here, I grabbed the Copper Line just because I have the Dragon Lord. Tireless Tracker, I need ways to draw cards. Beast Within is great, but Plow Under can potentially really devastate an opponent in a long game. If we're both top decking and I plow you under, I bought myself so much time. And then early game, if I can third turn Plow Under, first turn like Draga, second turn whatever, third turn Plow Under, I've set you back so far. Third to last pick Thalia and Elspeth in the same pack. Was no one playing white? Is no one playing white? Oh, that hurts. It makes me think. And then like a last pick Zergo. Is no one playing red? What are people playing? I can understand in this draft pile how things played out. Why people might not have like, I know what I'm doing. So I have to get rid of some cards. The Zergo, of course. Amelior's Call as well. That puts me at 27. Then I have to decide, what else do I get rid of? Maybe not Phyrexian Metamorph, just because Phyrexian Metamorph, either way, it's like you're saying this card is good if there's another good card in play. And if your opponent already has a good card, they might be in a position to play more good cards. Or they'll get the first crack with attacking with the good card. If you've already played a good card, you already have a good card. So it's like a win more card. So I'm not the biggest fan of Metamorph in this deck. Or in general. Unless you're playing a lot of artifacts, then it has a lot of versatility. So I'm like, maybe the sword for the sideboard. Yeah, maybe get rid of the Metamorph. Plow Under is not good in all matchups. So, yeah, I'm like, I got 24 things. Got some mana producers. Yeah, I'm good to go. Got this land, throw in this library, and I almost forget my turn timber. I have to go back for it. No, wait, I didn't forget you. Okay, great. Let's speed this mother up as we go into the game's playback speed. Faster. Playback faster. Great, and away we doth go. Full screen. So what am I hoping to do? I'm hoping to play some value out, get an early game time walk to just get even more value out. Then put myself in a position where I have a decent board, nothing super powerful because I don't really have many mid-game super powerful things. Then hopefully Eternal Witness the time walk played again and then close the game out. OKo is very strong. So opening hands, I want OKo, Eureka, Emrakul. There we go. This is a great opening hand. I like it. A little slow. Like, once again, Vintage Cube, there are decks that can beat you on turn 2. In this hand, I do nothing. They play by turn 2. They play white-blue, and then I feel a lot more comfortable with this because there's any color that's probably not beating you. Oh, and then they Ancestral. It's like, oh no, I thought I had an easier, slower game, but now they're getting so much card advantage. So, but here's the thing though, they're getting a lot of card advantage, but I'm still not afraid about what they're gonna do with the card advantage. If they played red, then I'd be worried about, Splinter Twin, but I can grind out. Here's an OKo. Grind me. This is going to be worth so many cards by itself. This is going to be worth like an Ancestral as far as the card. Then they Vendilion, and I'm like, OKo might not live that long. They Mole Drifter. Once again, they're drawing cards, but they're giving up value now. So they have the board control, but I'm not too worried. Believe it or not, I have a Riftwing suspended. I just have to survive and have this OKo survive another turn. So, no. I guess I just say, you know what? I can race you. I have value. I have life. I now value with the Courser. So go ahead, kill my OKo. I can always finale for an Eternal, or in this case, that's why. Since I have the Eternal Witness on top, and I knew it was on top, I know I can Eternal Witness the OKo. So I was like, whatever, yeah, let's get it. So here, it's an interesting choice. I could always bounce their Vendilion, but I don't want to give them another shot. And instead, they Snapcaster their Recall, and I'm like, the pure card advantage. My opponent has gone 8 deeper into their deck than I have. So I get the land back because, like, okay, you can get as many cards as you want, but we'll see how you feel about your tempo. And this, I just feel like I need to time walk. I need to take these extra turns. I can time walk, then I can Eternal Witness, time walk again. Then I have the finale. So if I can get them to trade for my Eternal Witness. I can get even another turn. So here, I don't go for the Eternal Witness time walk because I think if I do that after I have the Jiraga Tree Speaker leveled up, that I can do more with that extra turn, especially with this finale. So I'm worried. They have 9 cards in their hand. And they have a clue in play. So we are in a little bit of a situation here. I sort of have a better, weirdly, board position because like I control the ground, I can trade in the air, and I can draw lands off the top of my library for life. So yeah, I just trade that off. I'm not excited to take damage in the air. Get my value. Once again, now I can Eternal Witness Time Walk if I want, but I really want to wait. I want to wait. So now I have days back up in case they try for like a Frost Titan or an Elspeth or something like that. And there you go. Once again, they're drawing so many cards. Like, at this point, I'm kind of worried that they're going to draw out. You know? Like, they're not killing me that fast. So now I go for the Eternal Witness Time Walk, because I think I can maybe strike down this Tef over multiple turns. I attack first. See what they do. Hopefully they don't have a flash thing. Yep, they chump block. So once again, the board stays getting to the point where other than Tef, I'm in control. You know, there's a big, like, other than this huge, big problem. So now I have a problem of, like, do I wait and turn Timber to potentially get Emrakul? Or do I just play it as a land and, you know, draw the card in quotations? I decide to, hey, I want to draw the card. And then there's Gargaroth. I'm like, yes, please. I would love to have Gargaroth on top. And then, oh, yeah. I get to Terastodon. So I have Finale. I have a Gargaroth on top. I'm pretty comfortable that I don't need to get rid of, to use Survival to find my value cards. And I don't want to give them the better army, so I just sacrifice the Survival to the Terastodon. I don't end up sacrificing one of my lands because I want to be able to Finale for a lot, and I don't have to attack their Tef. So again, they're drawing a lot of cards, but I have better board position. I mean, I'm assuming they have a Wrath of God somewhere in their deck. Oust, my Tree Speaker. I don't understand that fully, because, like, I mean, maybe they're worried probably about Kratos Behemoth. So here I have to decide, like, this is where I flub up. So I know I'm like, ooh, if I have a land on top, I can use it. I can get it with Tree Speaker or with Courser for a free card, and then I put the land on top, so I draw it. And so I think I shuffle my library because of that, and I still draw a land. So boop. Attacking, they trump block. Venser, and like, sure, okay, sure. Yep. Now I sort of assume they're... I'm walking in the counterspell if they have one, but I haven't seen one yet. So, you know, this is game one. So I'd say make them have it. Now they get in, and I'm like, uh-oh. They get rid of Terastodon, and boom! Hey, guess who's got that daze? Looks like little Gideon's a little dazed and confused, brah. Get to play more land. No. Oh. I think here I'm thinking of the Finale, my Eternal Witness. No. Here's where I realized that I can Eternal Witness, Finale, my Eternal Witness, get back my Time Walk. So I was thinking, like, oh, maybe I can Finale something strong, but maybe I should wait. Are they gonna chump block my Eternal Witness if I go for this? I'm like, bleh. So I just go, you know what, I'm going to kill you, Gideon. Let's do this. And I make a beast. So here, I think their Gideon is... I think there's only... The only way that they can save their Gideon is double block the Gargadon, block one of my 2 power things. Otherwise... or block each of my 2 power things, block the beast token on the Gargaroth. Otherwise, their Gideon doth die, so we'll see what they decide to do. I really want them to kill my Eternal Witness. It makes sense to them to block, but instead they triple block my Gargaroth, which I understand. So I get their Gideon, and I'm like, do I Finale my Gargaroth back? I'm really thinking that they have a Wrath of God, so I'm saving it for the Eternal Witness plan. They Karn, and I'm like, uh-oh, scatty owls. But I am glad I didn't use it now on the, right now I'm looking at what I can get with my, Finale. I'm like, uh-oh, scatty owls. If I had done the Finale for the Gargaroth, they could have just Karned it away. So I'm glad that that's not what happened. I have a lot of mana. Here I'm like, blah. I think I just send at Karn. I maybe should have waited till after I attacked in case I had the Finale. So why am I... Oh. The reason I'm not attacking with this Avacyn's Pilgrim is because I'm planning to play this land. I will then have 10 mana altogether. I can then finale back my Terrastodon and use Terrastodon to kill their Karn. And I have the Rex Sage in my hand to discard to Karn if they go crazy with it. So now they have blockers. I'm like, whoa, this is not good. This is not good. And then they Spellseeker for drumroll counterspell. So they could have had a Time Walk of their own. They could have had balance. There's a lot of bad things they could have had. Now I have a Force of Will if I need it. And what I'm thinking is like, now I can finale with Force of Will backup. Maybe. Is that what I want to do? I don't know. So now I'm looking at finales. All your creatures get +10/+10 if it has +X/+X if it's 10 or more. And for some reason I thought that was a cast trigger. I'm about to make a huge mistake. I am assuming it's a cast trigger, so I'm like, oh, you know what? As long as I can get up to that, then I can kill them. Instead, they do get rid of my Eternal Witness, and I really should be doing that. Right now, if I try to do the finale... Oh, no. I can finale Eternal Witness, get the Time Walk this turn, but I can't cast the Time Walk with Force of Will backup yet. In my mind, I'm like, I don't think that's powerful enough. It wouldn't kill the Karn. Their Elspeth is still going to make 1/1s. Like, it's getting into dire straits. If I can get this Terrastodon, I can get rid of both of their creatures, and if I can finale for the 10, then all my creatures get +10/+10. So they control magic my beast. I'm gonna use this opportunity to use my force. I was hoping that they'd burn their counterspell on that. They did not, and then I go all in on this finale, thinking that it is a cast trigger about the +10/+10, and maybe I can pressure them, and then they counterspell, and I realize, oh, no, William, you dumb. William, you dumb as rocks. That is not a cast trigger. So I get rid of the Eureka. Here's the reason I get rid of the Eureka Emrakul plan. It is a 2-card combo. I need both cards. If Eureka is counterspelled, it is dead in the water. They also have Teferi and Karn. Two things that they could Eureka in that would then get rid of my Emrakul. And if we're playing an attrition-y value-based game, I want all my... If we're going on top decks, I don't want a card that's useless without another card. I want all my top decks to be value. So I throw in... I think it was Plow Under and Sword. Yeah. The Sword will make all of my little dinky 1/1s into threats, into things that need to be dealt with. And then the Plow Under will set them back. So I have the library. I think the games are gonna go long, so I'm happy to sit here and library all the live long day. I play this island in case I need to daze something the hard way. Just getting out value, drawing a bunch of cards. They Spellseeker. I'm like, I could have dazed it, but I was thinking that like I want to use daze for one of their planeswalkers, and like I'm trying to develop my board as much as possible. In retrospect, I think it is incorrect to not daze there, but man, what do you do? What you gonna do? Right now, I'm just going all out as far as trying to get as many lands in play, ramping up maybe to this Turn Timber Symbiosis. I maybe should have Coursered there. But who knows? Maybe they had the control magic. If they did, I would have had a daze for it. So they have 9 cards. They're going to have to discard. And they discard 2 white cards. They have no white mana right now. They counterspell. I have no counterplay to that. And here I'm like, do I go below? Do I just chill? I want this Courser because in a long game it's going to generate a lot of value. A lot of value. Because I'll be able to play it, see if there's a land on top. If there is, play it, and then library. If there isn't, library, and then maybe the next card is... Yeah. So it's already drawn me functionally a card right now. And then if whenever I feel like shields are down, I can turn Timber. So they get to draw, once again, just about half a bazillion cards. Although, if you look at how many, I have 19 cards left, they have 20. We functionally used our library both. I've been getting mostly lands. That is an update that happened. Here we go. Getting more value. Drawing my Gargaroth. Playing my Gargaroth. And now I'm content to just sit. So they go, oh, they go Gear Hulk. I'm like, no, no, no. Guess what? You dazed. You dazed. You're not getting that counterspell or that unexpectedly absent back. And so now, I mean, they wouldn't have drawn 6 of these cards if it wasn't for, if I had dazed their spell seeker. But now I'm like, oh, and then I'm like, oh. I have the Riftwing, so I'm perfectly fine. I can also get a Reclamation Sage or an Acidic Slime. So I'm like, okay, sure. Or, you know, Nasty Trasty. I've not seen a free counterspell from them yet. So I'm like, you know what? Let's go! And I can brainstorm this Force of Will if I need one. So now I feel like I don't need the Survival. And then I can finale for a lot. So I'm feeling strong. I have this Force of Will if I'm in need of it. And they decide to Karn, and I go, you know what? Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to use this Force of Will. Boom, 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 boom. And then they decide that it's time to end that game. No change of strategy to game 3. This Nature's Claim, they don't have many artifacts, enchantments. I mean, they have the control magic, but I think the Reclamation Sage and Acidic Slime, being attached to a creature because of things like the survival, help me a lot more. So we're both just developing. This OKo's going to be strong. Next turn I can Tireless Tracker, play a land, and then have the draw up. So the Elspeth, I'm like, uh-oh, that's going to be a lot of value. It's going to be a lot of little poopy creatures I'm going to have to deal with. Oh, no. There's poop in my pants. So I don't care too much about that. I can always survival for my Reclamation Sage, etc. I get a finale, and now I'm like, oh, I can finale for Rec Sage and attack their Elspeth. And I think that's what I want to do. I could also just OKo, but I want to really pressure this Elspeth down while they don't have other things in the board. Also, my clock is running down low. I'm now below 5 minutes. So I'm getting kind of nervous. I'm like, well, do things, William. Do things, William. Oh, I can't quite finale and sack the clue. But I'm getting value. I'm getting clue tokens. They get Ancestral third game in Hero. So now I'm gonna OKo. I can make a clue into a creature. It's dangerous. So I should have played OKo first and then OKo'd the clue, then played the land and made the other clue, because it's very dangerous when the two are on the stack to see which one has Summoning Sickness. And if you animate the wrong one, you could be very upset right now. So if you assume they don't have counterspells or something where you need the mana, like Mana Leak or whatever, you can play the OKo and animate before you play the land and make the other clue, to be sure that you've hit the one that won't have Summoning Sickness. I get to kill the Elspeth, and I get to get Finale back. I do this because now I have an infinite combo with the Eternal Witness. They get to Ancestral yet again. That's what, like 5, 6 Ancestrals over this game. So I'm really fighting an uphill battle. But they don't have any Wraths or anything that I've seen. If they have one, then they've been very unlucky in that regard. They Riftwing, but at this point, like, I mean, OKo's getting value. Boy, howdy is OKo getting value. I turn Timber. I see Terrastodon. I'm like, you know what? Let's do this. Let's get a little bit of your lands just in case you're trying to go for Karn or whatever. It is unfortunate that I give them a 3/3 before combat. Otherwise, I could have attacked with my Eternal Witness as well and my Tireless Tracker. But like right now, it's just like everything is so not in their favor. unexpectedly absent, sure, but they mistap their mana, so they don't have it, or they need Vendilion up. So in my mind, they're like, oh, they have Vendilion up 100%. I get Time Walk. I use Time Walk. They Vendilion me, and they don't grab the Finale, which is interesting. So they do grab the Finale. Okay, I mean, I lied for some reason. I guess it's another game. There's a situation that I'm thinking will happen, but yeah, at this point, what are you gonna do, opponent? I trade for their 3/1 because I'm about to take another turn. I don't want them to have another blocker, and I want to have basically another 3 power attacker in the air. And I'm just it's overwhelming how much damage I'm gonna do over these 2 turns. Yeah, and now they are dead. And if they weren't, I could bounce something. So very hard fought. I had to beat, it was either 5 or 6 Ancestral Recalls. So it shows that my deck is no slouch when it comes to value. I beat one of the best value cards in the game, partially because my opponent didn't have a board sweeper or didn't draw one. If they did have a board sweeper, I think I would have lost like every one of those games. I don't really have counterplay for a board sweeper. It's like, try to Eternal Witness back. Hopefully I play Gargaroth after it. Maybe try to get all my lands and play Emrakul. But I'd sideboarded out Emrakul after game 1. So here, it's just a standard library hand. They play black, which is difficult with library because, you know, one discard thing. Yeah. One discard thing, and if I was on the play here, I would no longer be able to use library. So just chilling. Now I have Daze if I need it. I'm just going to Daze Hardcast. I don't want to go back in tempo that far. So I'm going dangerous, going down to 6 in case if they make me discard again, my library days are over. But 8, just drawing cards. Now do I OKo or do I Courser? I OKo because I want to use Courser the first time I play, and they just concede to OKo. OKo is just too much value for their Death and Taxes deck. They maybe don't have Planeswalker removal, and the steady stream of 3/3s is a lot. Like I don't fault them for conceding there. Maybe they don't want to reveal what the rest of their deck is, but I do know that, like, okay, OKo is a secret weapon. Try to get OKo out. Now the plan is just Riftwing Cloud skating it up. We'll see what they do. They pack rat, and I'm like, uh-oh, pack rat, bad rat. So I want to time walk after I have the Riftwing suspended because it remove one more suspend token. So they play pack rat. That's all they really need to do this game. If they use pack rat every single turn, I really don't have that good of an answer for it. Like Riftwing to get rid of one of them, maybe Acidic Slime to try to reduce their land and Death Touch block one of them. Maybe hopefully get out Gargaroth or Terastodon before they get too big, or Eureka and they've discarded most of their hand. But like those, while the ball's like, that's 4 different ways to deal with it, William. While that is 4 different ways, those are 4 unlikely ways. And in the meantime, I don't have much time. They're going to be attacking me for a lot. 4, 9, 16. Oh, no, not 4, 9, 16. I mean, 2, 9, 2, 6, yeah, 2, 6, 12, 2, 6, 12, 20. If I don't have blockers. So, Time Walk, get the Eternal Witness. Meanwhile, this Riftwing is ticking down. I'm hoping to use the Riftwing to get rid of one of these pack rats. Bye-bye. Now these are more manageable. Now there's a lot of things I could do. A lot of things I should do. A lot of things I boo-boo. So I get rid of the my Rex Sage, and I think like Gargaroth is one of the only ways I deal with this. So let's just Time Walk, get the Gargaroth, play the Gargaroth. Then I stop the beats for a while. I don't attack because they could very easily have removal, and if they have a 2-mana removal spell and then they make another pack rat, if I don't double block this turn, I kind of dead. So my Gargaroth is like, okay, they have Baneslayer, but Gargaroth has Vigilance and Reach. So what you gonna do, opponent? This Avacyn Pilgrim is going to become another creature. No, it's not. I'm gonna play it? I think I'm counting up my finale, and I'm like, maybe what I want is I want to get Terastodon, in which case I need 3 more mana. I can't get rid of this Avacyn's Pilgrim. So, brainstorm to see what's what. Now I'm like, you know what? I can throw this Avacyn and this land on top, have Dave's backup, play the Caryatid, and if I need to turn the Caryatid, so right now I have 8 mana, so can't quite use survival and play Terastodon. They Yawgmoth, and honestly, this is like the one. It's only like the 4th time I've ever seen Yawgmoth played in Vintage Cube. And then 2, it's like the first time Yawgmoth's been decent in a board state. Because if they attack with their Baneslayer and I block with Gargaroth, I get rid of the Tide Hollow because either way I'm gonna be down a card in my hand. I'd rather them not have a creature to sack to Yawgmoth. So if they attack with Baneslayer, I block with Gargaroth, they can make it a 1/1 in response, and then I lose my Gargaroth. They are in a little bit of a pickle here in that so what I'm hoping now is I'm hoping to attack, hoping that they kill my Eternal Witness so I can finale it back, then get a Time Walk, and then really go ham with these Gargaroth attack. I'm hoping they don't try to kill my Gargaroth. Although, they have to triple block to kill my Gargaroth. There's no other way. Yeah, they could double block, then sacrifice Baneslayer to give it -1/-1. And then, no, then I could kill the Yawgmoth as part of combat so that they couldn't use their other creature to give it another -1/-1 after combat. So they're like, ooh, they're going to block my Eternal Witness. I'm like, yes. I'm going to get to attack with my Gargaroth again, make another 3/3, or draw a card. Like, I'm going to be able to outrace this Baneslayer because of that, even with the -1/-1. So they're debating between blocking the Beast and maybe giving it a -1/-1 token with during combat, or just killing my Eternal Witness. I don't like this this like weird medium that they've. I mean, it's hard because if one pack rat dies, the other immediately becomes smaller. So if they double block the Beast with the pack rats, both of them will die, and it won't give them a chance to sack one to make a -1/-1 token. So I'm like, no, they're not blocking my Eternal Witness. What are they doing? I'm looking at my deck. I'm like, maybe I get a Acidic Slime after this and kill the Lava Claw. Just to get rid of red, whatever they might need it for. They have no cards in their hand. That's the one bad side of what they've been doing with Pack Rat. And they don't really have any draw spells, so they do kill my Eternal Witness. They take what they see as a free block with the Yawgmoth, and I go, hey, you know what? That was, in fact, not a free block. So here's a weird thing. So right now, with my extra turn, if I attack on this extra turn, what they can do is they can block the Gargaroth with their Yawgmoth. They can block one Beast with their Pack Rat. They can kill the Eternal Witness by sacrificing the Pack Rat that they've blocked the Beast with, and they can Baneslayer down. No, they're dead, exactly, because it costs them life to do the -1/-1s. I play the Avacyn Pilgrim just to be sure. The math's really close. I think they're dead either way, but I'm like, I don't want to risk it. Play the Pilgrim so I can attack with it. And then now I have game. Although the Yawgmoth definitely made the math very difficult. So I played 2 value decks, which is interesting in Cube. No combos. But luckily I've been able to out-value them. How dare you try? How dare you try? Mulligan that first. One second. I'm going way too fast. This is too fast. This is too fast for all of us. So this first hand, I think I mulligan it because it doesn't. I can't use Force of Will. It doesn't really do anything. And so I'm like, it's so slow. This hand's slow as well, but at least the Tree Speaker lets me ramp up a little fast, and I can survival on 2. And I go, no! But I keep the survival. I keep the Terastodon. I can Terastodon away for Eternal Witness. Use the Eternal Witness to get back the finale. Then they get rid of my Tree Speaker. And I'm like, this is Poop Master Magoo. I get the Reclamation Sage because I need to deal with this Bitter Blossom first. And then hopefully that'll buy me enough time to survival for a different thing, and like a tireless tracker and get value there. So I just dazed because I don't want them getting, like, this has become an attrition game. I don't want them getting another creature on the board and another card. So there we go. I've gotten rid of what will slowly kill me, but I'm in no ways out of this game. They play more value, and I just feel like, oh boy. And I draw the Eternal Witness, and I'm like, ooh, I want this, but at the same time, I need to get creatures that I can actually cast. So I'm probably going to survival it away. Here I'm like, yeah, I will gladly trade for that Confidant. I'm not going to chump block yet. I might be able to play, like, 2 more 2/2s and then triple block the register, and then they go Lily, and it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, you play Lily, you get the value. I don't agree with them getting the Rager. Maybe there's a card in their hand that they want to keep, and so they play the Rager so that they can draw something with Dark Confidant and discard something else to the so that was lucky on me that I drew that land to be able to play the Gargaroth. But now I was like, I'm not very, I'm not a favorite to win by any chance, but I have a shot. And then they play Tybalt, and I am pretty much dead. They can Tybalt away my Gargaroth. I have to block their Regisaur. No, I have to block something, not necessarily the Regisaur. But then the turn after, they can Elspeth up their Venser. So, like, I don't think there's a card in my... I have to, like, Time Walk, Eternal Witness, Time Walk. There's not many cards in my deck that can win this. I can bounce the something, but I think with the Lava Claw reaches, no matter what I bounce, I'm dead, because they can have 4 things with 2 power attacking, and I can only block one of them. Also, that they can Liliana the Venser in their graveyard, which they do, and I am dead. So here I'm like, once again, they're going to make me discard cards. I don't want the Eureka Emrakul combo because I'm going to be discarding cards, and it's 2 cards that need each other. Instead, Plow, like this Plowender would either have been Eureka or Emrakul. I don't want that in this hand right now. Even though if it was the Eureka, I could have survival to get the Emrakul, and maybe it would have been good. They play Black Lotus, and immediately I'm like, no, I'm dead. No, it's been such a good draft. No, they hit me. Hey, bye-bye. Carry added. Bye-bye the chance of librarying. Luckily, they got rid of my only creature for this Valky. And now I have survival, so whatever creature I need, I can get. But I'm feeling very, very poopy as far as long term aspects of this game. In my mind, I have lost this game. So now I'm looking like, what do I get? What do I finale? I don't want a finale now. Tireless Tracker is something I need, or Courser, something that's going to give me value. So they're still not playing anything, so I'm feeling pretty lucky. I just go for the Plow Under. They haven't played anything yet. Maybe if I Plow Under, they won't play anything for 2 more turns. They Culligans me, and it's like, well, I need to keep this finale. So I am in trouble, but they haven't done anything too worrisome, and then they Tassiger, and I'm like, no, you poopy. So I'm thinking, like, who do I wait and try to finale the Gargaroth? What I can do is I can finale the Eternal Witness, get the finale back, and then I have a blocker for this Valky to stop my bleeding. It gives me 3 turns instead of a 2-turn clock. And if I draw a land, then I'll be able to play the Gargaroth. So that's what I decide to do. I also, in a pinch, have the Infinite Finale Eternal Witness combo to just go, okay, well, then I'll do it again, and I'll do it again, and I'll do it again. I don't chump block yet. So I draw the extra land, and now I'm like, yep, Gargaroth all the way! Go, Elder Gargaroth value. I'm in a little bit of trouble, especially since if they could draw another blue, they've turned on their Tassiger. So they attack with Valky, and I'm like, sure. I will take whatever trick you're doing. I'll draw my card. Char? Like, I'm not sure what they have here. So they Fatal Push. I'm like, okay. And then they Angrass Rampage. I'm like, that makes sense. So here, lots of things I could do. I want more value, so I get rid of the Reclamation Stage. I go for Acidic Slime. I want to keep you low on resources, and now I have a Death Toucher to block your Tassiger. Hey, hooray, great. Then they Toxic. I'm like, I'm in trouble. Luckily, I'm at exactly 4 life, so I can OKo. I can food, or I can make your Tasigur a 3/3. I want Tasigur to be a 3/3 because they have the Scalding Tarn. They can start using Tasigur if they win a blue for it, and because now the food keeps pace with Tasigur's damage. Well, if Tasigur is a 4 power, I would be losing 1 life each turn. I keep a land in my hand in case I need to discard to a Lily or whatever. I'm literally at 1 life. I'm on the edge of death. I'm on the edge of getting booted out of this draft. OKo can keep pace. I have this Force of Will to sort of keep pace for it. If I can just get 1 creature, I can chump block, and then I can make one of my foods a creature, and then I can slowly gain value from there. But until then, I'm like, yes! Okay, now I play my land, so I have Force up still. I still create the food. Now I have a blocker if I need it. They Heartless Act, and I'm like, I can counterspell this, but they're going to be more impactful things that they play. And so I can still stay alive with the current game state. If I had counterspelled that, another reason is if I counterspell that and they have another removal spell, I don't have any mana up if I hardcast Force of Will to sacrifice this food. So then I die. So I'm chilling. I have Steve. Steve's a great card. So I can either use Steve to get something, and I'm like, what do I get? What do I get? What do I get? I don't know what I get. Am I gonna go for Terastodon? I mean, my Eternal Witness, my Acidic Slime, my Courser. I think it's Tireless. I think I need to go for Tireless Tracker, but Tireless Tracker trades for this Tasigur right now. Then I would also have to. So this is dangerous. I have the Force of Will backup, so I'm okay if they try to remove something, it is a must counter. I counter this because they're going to get the Force of Will either way, and I just don't want them to have a 1/2 on top. I survive, luckily. And hey, look, Freebooter doing work. I play this Tracker, and now I have something to block this Tasigur, and I have food to sacrifice if I need to. They don't attack, which is like, you don't want to get rid of my Tireless Tracker? So now I have Sword. If this hits, I feel pretty good. I still want to be gaining life. It hits. Even if they Wrath now, I'll have the OKo. Another reason I made a food is because if they Wrath right now or they Toxic Deluge again, I can make the food a creature and equip it, and then they'll pretty much be dead. So they attack. Of course I'm going to block. Ain't no way I'm letting that through. And that's game. Whoo! On the edge of death. On the very, very edge. But we managed to pull it through because OKo is a card. OKo is a card in Magic that does things. Woo! Beat a Black Lotus. I'm beating Black Lotus. I'm beating Ancestrals. So here I'm like, okay, I can library. The OKo is why I keep this hand. I don't expect to be librarying long because they have discard. Like, I pretty much expect to get hymned or something right now. And I don't, but I thought I was going to. So here, I have a decision of like, do I draw or do I develop? I plan to develop because this not only blocks the Confidant, but it gives me more mana to do things with the cards I'm hopefully drawing. They have a blazing fast thing, but they don't do anything with it. And now I'm hoping to be able to plow them under before they can do too much. I'm keeping the OKo in hand because I want, if they do something insanely powerful, like if they have a Black Lotus, I want to be able to Force of Will with this OKo. I don't do anything. I'm only going to take 2 damage a turn. They attack, I block. I'm not worried. So now they Bitter Blossom. I'm like, uh-oh, that's a lot of value. That's value. So I play the Courser hoping to have a land on top. I don't. I don't again. But now I have Time Walk, which will give me a lot of value with this Eternal Witness. They have a lot of mana, and there's a lot of things they can do, but I can always Force of Will my Rift Wing now. And I can OKo. Yeah. So I'm like, no. I want to have that value. I'm probably going to be OKoing and then Time Walking and making a million. Yeah. And then I see the sword, and I'm like, ooh, boy, I'm going to be able to do so many good things. Because next turn I can play the sword and equip it. Or I can Eternal Witness. I think I just Eternal Witness and Time Walk again. So I have yet another creature, and I can make this food into a creature. Yeah. Attack with my food. The food's coming for you. Nom, 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 nom. So this is great. You know, I'm making 3/3s every other turn. They're making 1/1s every turn. But if I can get them decently low on life, then they can't use this Ancestral Tomb and this Bitter Blossom. It becomes a liability. So once again, I ordered this wrong. I tried to like... I want to try to, it's the second time I did that with this Core Throw. I'm like, you need the land on top, William, but you need the land second on top because you draw the top card in Ponder. So because I wanted this Acidic Slime for the Bitter Blossom, I don't shuffle. Like a dum-dum, I am then stuck with it. Also, I do another dumb. I equip the Eternal Witness because I think, oh, I can attack, and now they can't chump block. But if they have Toxic Deluge, which I have seen, it'd be better to have the sword on the Courser because then they have to Toxic 4/6, not a 4/4. So of course that is what they do. I do get punished. Ow! But they are at 7. I can put them down a pretty low. So they make me sacrifice a Planeswalker. Bye bye OKo. This food will stay a food. I get to get rid of your Bitter Blossom. Now I'm gonna have a Death Touch thing coming at you with a sword on it. I'm a little worried. So I think I've seen removal from them. I don't want to walk into it. So I'm just going to say, okay, Plowwinder. They Mana Leak. I feel a little poopy, but they're playing Mana Leak in a deck that really doesn't have that much blue in it. Just like they're playing Venser in a deck which really doesn't have that much blue in it. They're playing Brazen Borrower in a deck that really doesn't have that much blue in it. Like, opponent. And hey, there is the draft. Green value, super weak deck compared to what I normally like to do in Cube, but luckily it showed off against a bunch of other value decks. Time Walk is powerful. It's basically a free card, and the turn, depending on where you throw it, can be very impactful. OKo is just one of the best, one of the most broken Magic cards. And then, of course, Courser and Tireless for value. And using my library as a resource with both Survival of the Fittest and a Finale of Devastation really took this home. So if you like this video, please actually like this video on Facebook. It helps me. On Facebook. Please, don't like this video on Facebook. If you find it on Facebook, report it. Like this video on YouTube. And if you really liked it, please leave a nice comment. I appreciate those a lot. And if you really, really like this video, please subscribe. There will be more videos as well. And the after roll, which is probably playing right now. Thank you all. Check out more videos and have a great day, everyone.